Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-January 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Geminis out there. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here, my guides. Talk to me. What do we have for the lovely Geminis here in mid-January? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Gemini. Mid-January, please, my guides and spirit team. What's going on? Talk to me about my friends here. An interesting few weeks of readings. That card, and it always happens with the Gemini readings that whenever the cards come out, they like flip in the air. I don't know what's the deal with that. It always happens with you guys, but all right, interesting. 10 of Wands type of energy. There could be someone a little burdened here. That could absolutely be it. Now, there's some differences with this card as opposed to the actual 10 of Wands, but you see the imagery there. There's like a lot of weight there. Before we fully dive in, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little bit about this card. So if you look at the imagery here, we have this one individual, and it looks like they have another person literally on their back, even though it's like a jester and a smaller person. This to me always reminds me of the 10 of Wands, that there could be something heavy going on. Okay, so whether it's a certain situation you're dealing with, whether it's a person, this could range. I always say this heavy type of energy, it could be mental, it could be emotional, it could even be physical. So when this card shows up, make sure you're taking care of your physical body, your physical health and well-being when this card is here. Might be feeling a little down in the dumps when this card shows up. I always say specifically watch out for areas like the neck, back, and spine. When this card is here, you might need like a good rub down, you might need a good massage with this card. But remember, if we're talking emotional, this could be someone you're connected to that might have a little bit of guilt, or they're just taking something very seriously. Like it's just something that is quite heavy. All right. Now remember, I always say this first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote, but there is that heaviness showing. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Very big there, especially physically. Let's get into tarot now. And yeah, I already told you about that little footnote. Let's get you 3 cards in the upright, then we'll get into the intuitive juiciness. So let's see what's happening for Gemini. And while we get the deck ready, let's talk about last week's reading, my friends. It was titled the classic title, Karma Gets Served. There was big karmic archetypes showing up for you, okay? Now, karma is a very complex subject. It could be whittled down simplistically as like, all right, you get what you put forth, you get back in return. It does also speak about the cycles of life. But one thing that I was picking up heavily in last week's reading was that Spirit is taking notes. Okay, whether it's good deeds you're doing or whether this is somebody else you're connected to that's not doing the right thing. These were all themes that we saw last week. So let's see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you. Because we could be seeing your vibe or we could be picking up on somebody you're connected to, right? Let's get you 3 cards. What do we got for Gemini, please? Okay, world, so the karmic energy is still sticking around a little bit. We're starting with a card of endings, okay? And it doesn't just have to be that. We'll talk about it more, okay? It's not the be-all, end-all. It's just a complex card. Let's get a couple more. Thank you. Okay, all right, so now a card of beginnings. Now a card of beginnings. Interesting. The cycle. The cycle continues, my friends. Let's get one more card out here, then we'll really start to piece this together. Like it so far. Let's get one more. All right, Queen of Pentacles. I don't know what the deal is with all the signs this weekend getting so much earth. Maybe it's because we are in Capricorn season, but there's so much earthy energy. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into the juicy intuitive stuff. So at first glance, I feel like we have an interesting mixture here. Obviously, we have the double down of this earth energy with the pentacles. I always say earth energy mostly focuses on, if you're not connected to earth signs, it focuses on work, it focuses on money, it focuses on business, It could be material aspects like your home or your money situations in general. Not always bad. It's a slow moving type of energy. And even though this is earthy here, we have the literal world card, which is the earth, right? Even though it's not technically earth energy. So let's go through one by one and really start to piece this whole together, this whole reading together, this story. And it's interesting the way we start, because we're starting with a card of endings into the ace. So it's like the cycle. The cycle continues for one reason or another. But in position number one, and this could be speaking of changes in situations, we have the world card. Very, very complex card when it comes to tarot. Now, the world is the last of the major arcana. So a lot of people say, yeah, this could represent endings. Sure. Could represent the close of something. Absolutely. To me, I see this as more of like switching chapters. So one chapter closing into a new one. The world does also speak about change, right? This is a karmic energy. It's a karmic card speaking about the cycles of life. So of course it could speak about change. Now, a little flavor that I throw onto this card, aside from everything I already mentioned, the world card to me can represent world events. Okay, so when I see this card show up in your reading, maybe what's going on in the world today is very concerning to you, or maybe there's someone you're connected to where they put so much energy into the world events and what's happening on in the world that's affecting them on a personal level. Or maybe some of you might want to just leave it all behind and go live in the woods, right? That's a possibility with this card. Only joking. Where am I? Now, we'll talk about this more when we clarify. Now, getting to the center, we have a card of beginnings. So you see what I'm saying? Like, starting with an ending into a new beginning, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful card. It's my favorite ace in the whole entire deck, even though it's earth energy. It's a card of golden opportunities. This is a card of offers as well. I saw this for you a few weeks ago, that a lot of you could have some offers coming in, and it's showing up for you once again. But with the end to the beginning, I'm seeing the cycle, possible things shifting, possible things changing in very big ways. I like the Ace of Pentacles. Specifically to me, this could talk about leveling up or a nice influx of money. Now, I always say when it comes to opportunities, when it comes to offers, it's up to you whether you're going to take it or not. It's up to you whether you're going to invest in this opportunity or this change. Absolutely, when this card is here, because if you don't, all of these aces could wither on the vine. That's always something to keep in mind. Okay. In reverse, this card could speak about false opportunities. We're not going to go that whole route, because I'm already seeing the storyline here about a cycle kicking over or a change coming in. Now, when we get to the back end, this is a beautiful card. I will say it. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Now, for a portion of you, it could be an earth sign that you're connected to. So Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, if you're not connected to any one of that, and this is not gender specific, this card could represent mother figures. This is an aspect of the divine feminine when I see it. Even though it's not gender specific, I see the Queen of Pentacles. I think of an energy very similar to that of the Empress. So this to me is a card of fertility. This is a card of potential. This is a card of abundance. A lot of you could be very much money focused, business focused here, but to me, this is a huge card of blessings, possibilities, wins, all sorts of good things. So when we see this flow of energy, there could be really nice things coming in for a lot of you. Now, yes, the clarifiers really change the context of everything we're seeing here, but if we were just going off these three cards, I really like what I'm seeing. Now, a challenge with this Queen of Pentacles that I will say is, as with all cards, they have positives and negatives. This Queen of Pentacles could sometimes represent a stubborn individual, someone that's unwilling to change their ways, somebody that's sticking their foot in the ground. For a portion of you, you might feel a little cornered in this time, or you might feel like restricted, but we want to dive deeper on all of it, Gemini. Let's do that. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for my friends, please. What's happening for the lovely Geminis here? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. What's going on that world card here? Why is the world here for Gemini? And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Gemini, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. I won't be offended. Let's see what the world is. Why is the world here? For my friends, please. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Yeah, waiting on something to change in a very big way. We have the Nine of Swords underneath the world. For a portion of you, if you have recently had like a cycle close or an ending, that could still be sticking around. It could be bothering you for a portion of you. If this is someone you're connected to that you've had a fallout with, they could be very much nervous, stressed, anxious when we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, and I just have to give this message. If you're having any weird dreams, okay, weird dreams about the world and world events, that could be like affecting your anxiety in this time. So watch out. I feel like some Geminis could be having these types of dreams. So just only take that if it hits. But the Nine of Swords, you don't have to be an expert in tarot to understand what this means. It's a stress. So I feel like for the vast majority of you, if there has been something that's recently closed out, a cycle that is closed out or even ended, this is somebody not taking it well. This is somebody who it's affecting them in a very powerful way. They could even be having issues sleeping. But another one I'm picking up here is someone is like, all right, are things ever going to change? Is this ever going to change? Like that's a big thing I'm picking up here. Okay, so if there's a situation you're wanting to change, whether in your personal life, business life, romantic life, this is someone who's like, all right, well, it would be nice if that would happen now. It's like kind of giving me that vibe. We're not going to overcomplicate the energy. I feel like it's a very simple type of energy. If it's not you, like I said, it's someone you're connected to. They could really be affected, stressing, nervous, anxious, all that stuff. Let's keep moving forward because once again, this is the beginning. It's not the final ending. So let's see what that Ace of Pentacles has to say. Because that could be when things kick over. Let's see what flavor it is. So why is that Ace of Pentacles here? I don't like this stress surrounding the world for some reason. It's bothering me. So why is that Ace of Pentacles here? Thank you. Okay. It's a no holds barred type of energy. Now, once again, I don't feel like this is completely terrible. Some of you might be going into the place and mind space of like, you know what? I got to take care of my own. I got to take care of myself. I got to take care of my own. I got to make sure we're good. New year, new me, but in a like, okay, I'm focused on me type of energy could absolutely be it. We have the Five of Swords underneath the Ace of Pentacles. Once again, I'm getting this big change, okay? Whether it's within you, whether it's within your certain situation, this Five of Pentacles is a fighter, okay? It does get a bad reputation. Yes, sometimes this could represent a cold individual, a mean person, worst case scenario, a narcissistic person. But under a card and within the context of what I'm seeing here and the fact that you're an air sign and you could work well with air energy, for a lot of you, you could be switching your focus, all right, to more of a self-sustaining type of energy. That's a big thing I'm picking up here. Where it's like, you know what, I'm going to fight for what's mine. I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen again, or I'm going to keep on track. It's like giving me that kind of vibe as well. So if this isn't a legitimate change within a situation, it could be a change within you. So I'm picking it up big here. It's like never again type of energy, or not like that. It can't exist the way it has been. So there's a big focus on the self. That's what I'm picking up here. I don't feel like this is a warning. And that would be surprising because you would think when we have Nine of Swords, Five of Swords, these aren't the nicest type of energies. But I feel like if anyone could work with it, it would be you. Okay, it's like you're pushing for this change. You want this to happen. Okay, whatever this is to you, like it's like, no, I want this to change. So I'm going to make it happen. Let's keep moving over. Only take it if it hits. Okay. If you're watching this and you're going through relationship things, there could be someone who they're like very much focused on themselves. So let's see what's up with that Queen of Pentacles. Let's see what the result is. I think that'll tell us what's happening here for the most part. So let's see why that Queen of Pentacles is in the mix. Yeah, I don't feel like that's a warning in the center. Could be a big change. Yeah, double fives. So now we're getting the repeating numbers of change. In numerology, repeating fives do represent change. It's similar to the Tower, like fast, sudden type of change. And we have the double fives right here on the bottom. The Five of Wands in the upright is usually a conflicted type of card. So once again, I'm getting this pushback. Okay, because remember, these are very positive cards on the top. These cards on the bottom are effort, and they could be seen as conflict, but at the same time, they're determination as well. So for a lot of you Geminis, sure, be a little cautious in this time about conflict with people. Whenever you see Five of Swords, Five of Wands energy, just be cautious about conflicting with others. But at the same time, I see someone who is very, very focused on making this change happen or achieving a goal. Okay, that's a big thing I'm picking up here. This is giving me the determination flavor. Okay, this one is like, woe is me in the front, feeling a little helpless. These ones aren't. Okay, that's just a huge vibe I'm picking up. Now, if you've been going through things recently, maybe Spirit is trying to ask you to be a little more aggressive That's a possibility here for some of you, Gemini. Like, be the change, make the change, enforce the change, exert your will. Remember that we are all creator beings, okay? Doesn't matter what things we're going through, whether it is money and work and relationships, enforce your will. You can make these changes. You just got to make them happen, right? Now, yes, sometimes doesn't matter what we do. Sometimes things are what they are, but that's not the vibe I'm picking up here, my friends. To me, this is giving me that stay determined, keep focusing your energy, keep pushing for something for that big reward in the end. Okay, that's just a huge vibe. Of course, watch out for the conflict. Let's go through, Gemini. Once again, I'm seeing change all over the place, but you need to enforce it. Okay, the possibilities there, you need to enforce it. Let's go through piece by piece before we get into the shadow card. Position number 1, we have the World with the 9 of Swords in the upright. Of course, this could represent someone you're connected to that's stressed, anxious, nervous. Watch out for weird dreams about the world and world events. That could be bothering some of you. But yeah, if there's been an ending or a closeout, this could be a person that's having a tough time dealing with it. Another thing I was picking up is someone stressing. It's like, all right, why won't this change? Or if that would change anytime now, please. But you might need to take matters into your own hands in regards to changing situations and things. Because when we move to the center, we have the Ace of Pentacles with the 5 of Swords, a very self-reliant type of energy as well. For some of you, it's no holds barred, take no prisoners type of energy. Like, it's go time. I'm going to make my opportunities happen. It feels very aggressive. Of course, watch out for conflict with people, but there's so much change within this week's reading. But for the positive, you just need to keep pushing. Because when we get to the back end, we have the Queen of Pentacles with the 5 of Wands in the upright. So sure, change isn't always easy. Sometimes it could be a battle. Sometimes you need the determination. But if you are focused and you push the change forward, whatever it might be, you can make it happen. Like, that's what's showing up in the cards. Not comfortable by any means, but you can make it happen. Depending. Or do you want to live in this cycle? It's up to you, right? So please take a screenshot, Gemini. Look through it further if you'd like. And yeah, let's see what's in the shadows for you. So let's shuffle it up one time for the lovely Geminis. See what's in the shadows. And yes, you know, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. And yeah, it doesn't always have to be a bad thing. A shadow card doesn't always have to be a challenge. Sometimes it's a nice surprise. So let's see what's there. Oh, and yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it down in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support my channel. Obviously, no pressure. I just want to mention it. So let's get you one shadow card here. What do we got in the shadows for Gemini? Thank you. Nice and quick. Okay, 6 of Pentacles. Giving, balance. This is a very good card to have in the shadows. Spirit could be saying, like, yeah, things are going to start balancing out for you. This is a very charitable type of energy as well. For a portion of you, you might be receiving or giving a surprise gift in this time. I know that's like an off-the-wall compared to what we were having within the reading itself, but this is one of my cards of gift giving, and it's showing up as the shadow. So I'm getting like a surprise gift for a portion of you when this card is here. Okay, whether you're giving or receiving it. But this, to me, is more of a card of being open and letting things stay balanced. Like, the more you give, the more you get type of energy. I don't feel like this isn't a situation that's even. There's no equal give and take. I'm not picking that up here. To me, the main message is the more you give, the more you will receive. The energy you put forth is the energy you'll get back, kind of like that karmic energy that we've been picking up as well. So I would take that as a really nice advice. Like, what you're putting out, that's what's going to come back to you eventually. So yeah, Gemini, please screenshot that as well. That's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details, the January subscriber surprise. For the January subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Tarot of the Owls tarot deck. It's one of my favorite new decks out there. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what are one of your biggest goals for this year that we just entered into? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, I'll announce the winners in my community tab at random. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you again soon.